Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Hello, cats and kittens. We are live. Welcome to the Starship Enterprise. I am your host, Captain James T. Kirk, and my first officer is here, Mr. Spock from Vulcan.
Greetings,
So welcome
Captain.
aboard the Enterprise, and we're going to be talking nerd talk today about Star Trek and all the other Star Trek shows that came with it. So welcome to the show, and it's nice to have you here, Mr. Spock.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, that's good. So I thought we'd start with, well, I have a whole bunch of stuff to show, but I'm going to start with the movies. So if you want to make me big, please. On screen.
Okay.
Hey, George, you made it. So first we have the original 6 Star Trek movies. We have Star Trek, the motion picture, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, Star Trek IV, The Final Frontier, and Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. So there we go.
Nice.
There's the back. And I'll show you the inside. Oops. Okay, Star Trek, the motion picture. And Wrath of Khan. Search for Spock and Voyage Home. And the last 2. So there we go. And next we have the Next Generation motion picture collection. So we got Star Trek Generations, Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek Insurrection, and Star Trek Nemesis. And then we have J.J. Abrams' 2009 Star Trek. I have 2 of them with 2 different covers. I have this one. And I have this one. Kirk on the front and Spock on the back. And it's 3 discs. There you have the movie.
Mm-hmm. Then
you have the special features disc here. And this one is a digital copy Star Trek DAG free game trial. Something like that. I don't know what that is, but anyway. And then next we have, I love the slip for this, Star Trek Into Darkness. Now, a lot of people say this is a crap movie. It's not as good as Wrath of Khan, but I really thought Idris Elba was really good in this film. And there's the back, and just slides off like that. I like that little slip.
Oh, okay.
And then we have the movie itself here. And the movie. Now if I can just get it back in the slip. Okay, got that back in the slip. And then the last one, Star Trek Beyond. Now this one, when I saw this in the theater, it felt like an original Star Trek episode. And there's supposed to be a fourth one, but they're not sure it's going to be made. But I hope they do a fourth one because I think it would be really cool. So we got Star Trek Beyond. So we'll stop right there, and then during the course of the show, I'll show some more stuff because I got the original series to show, which are burnt copies, and I have Star Trek Next Generation, all 7 seasons, and then a comic book, a Picard, and then a magazine about Star Trek. So you can make me small.
Okay, I've asked Scotty to beam me back to the engine room, so.
Ah, you're in the engine room.
Yes.
Cool. I like it.
So he needed some help with the transporter machine, so I'm back here.
So Bob, I would be honored if you want to. I'd love to have you come up and join us. Would you like to? I've always wanted to have you on camera. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, they're always nice to have those movies. Those the Star Trek movies, the original ones, and Next Generation. I got those on sale on Boxing Day because they're pretty expensive. And I also got the Godfather box set on Blu-ray that same day. But I was kind of over the budget that I had. But my friend Alan said, James, they're good prices. If you want them, don't worry. I'll pay the rest. And he did. And that was so nice of him to do that for me. He says, no, don't put them back. You want them, they're good prices. I will help you get them. I'm not letting you go away disappointed. If you're looking for these things and they're on a good sale, go for it. So my friend helped me because I did go over my budget. But I had to have them because they were the last 2 on the shelf, the Star Trek ones. And the other one was like $39 for the box of the Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, and it's usually over $50 or $60 or $70 for Blu-ray. I'm like, I'd be kicking myself if I didn't grab it at that time. So I said, okay. He said, don't worry, I got your back. So he helped me pay the rest, and I didn't have to pay him back. He said, you're a good friend. If it's going to make you happy, these movies, then go for it. Like I say, go big or go home.
There you go.
So last night I watched a couple of the original episodes of the original series on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Been rewatching them again. And I watched the one where they had their first contact with the Romulans in the neutral zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the one where they went to that shore leave and they had all those hallucinations and when Bones saw the White Rabbit and Alice in Wonderland. Do you remember that episode?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Oh, somebody's at the door. Let me go grab that real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. So there we got Mr. Spock with us today. So we're flying on the Enterprise. Our mission today is to tell you about all our adventures and where it took us all those years ago. Yes, I know in Generations I died, but I got resurrected. I'm still alive and still captain of the Enterprise, even though I'm an admiral. So I'm still flying high. I am not properly dressed for a camera appearance, but thank you for the invite. Aw, that's okay, Bob. There'll be other times, but I'm glad that you're here today. Let me change the outlook here. Okay, there we go. So I hope everybody's doing good on this lovely Sunday afternoon. It's beautiful outside. Plus, I don't know how long I can stay. Been so crazy busy here today. Oh my God, yeah, with your renovations coming up and all that, I bet it would be chaos. But I'm so glad you're here. And we might be being joined by another guest today by the name of Mr. Beckham.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm back.
That's all right. And I hope he'll be here. Oh, I'm getting a buzz on Facebook.
Nice day out.
Mm.
So, yeah, the original series, I thought it was on a lot longer than just the short time it was on, just 3 seasons.
Yeah, I remember growing up in the 70s and on one of our channels we have here is called CBC,
Hmm.
Canadian Broadcasting Company. And every Sunday at, I think it was 11 or 12 noon, uh, they'd show the reruns of the original series. I remember sitting there watching it with my sister, not understanding it. And I used to say I hated Star Trek at one point. I
Hmm.
would say that's just a bunch of guys floating around in the spaceship for an hour and they just talk. There's no
Hmm.
action like Star Wars. I thought Star Wars was it.
Hmm.
But one day, before I really got into the original Star Trek series, it was Star Trek: The Next Generation that got me hooked into every Star Trek genre there was. Then I started watching the original series and fell in love with it. But I think my first foray into the Star Trek universe was 1979 when I went to the cinema with my dad and my sister to see Star Trek the Motion Picture.
Oh, okay. That was very popular.
And a lot of people say it's a hit and miss for them, that movie.
Hmm.
Uh, what are your thoughts about that?
Um, it's been so long since I've seen those movies. They were they were okay. It was just I know everybody always made fun of William Shatner's acting just because he was too dramatic. That's the thing I remember the most.
Uh, Spock, the way he talked, and why are they doing this to us? Like he'd split up his sentences.
There's a logical explanation behind everything, Captain.
Is there now, Spock? Really? Would you care to explain for us?
The Earthlings are too emotional. Us Vulcans do not give in to our emotions, even though my mother was human.
Would you find it illogical or logical?
The way humans react to everything is very illogical.
Hey, Richard,
Richard's
welcome.
here.
Welcome aboard the Enterprise. And
Yeah.
I hope we'll entertain you. One of the reasons for short length of original series is cost to produce the show. It was
Hmm.
expensive for the special effects at the time.
Yeah. Because everything they're doing was with practical effects rather than all the computer digital effects we have now. A lot of
Yeah,
series were actually shot to videotape. Like, for example, the Twilight Zone, there's about 6 episodes they shot to videotape to help cut down on costs as well. And a lot of TV shows were shot in black and white to help save on the costs as well.
yeah, because color prints were very
It was
expensive back in the
very
50s and
expensive. Yeah.
60s.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the episode where Kirk has to fight that lizard guy, the Gorgon or something.
Yeah, the Gorgon. Yeah.
And then they had the that cheesy music. Da, 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 da. He's fighting them.
It almost looked like they're dancing. They're just going in slow motion.
And then he picks up that huge rock, but it's light.
Yeah,
It's
he's
so
all.
fake. He throws it.
Oh yeah, I did tell him about the thing. We 3D printed it. Make myself big, so you can see.
That is so cool. I like that.
So came out pretty well. Make
Oh
myself-
man, I'd love to have a thing like that. That would be cool. And the communicators, those are cool.
Yep.
Did you know that's where some guy, I forget his name, got the idea for the flip phone?
That's what I heard. Yeah, from the transponder.
Yeah, and the phasers and looks like it's a Star Trek Sunday extravaganza. Yes, it is.
It is.
So, Richard, tell us what your favorite original Star Trek episodes are. Well, I have Paramount Plus, but mine's the Canadian version. Well, it's my friend's account. She's sharing it with me, so I don't have to pay for it. I can just watch. They have Picard on there. They have the Star Trek movies, but they don't have the original series on the Canadian one yet. The American one must have all the good shit that I can't get. Now, there's one episode of the original series where this woman's in love with this man who's living down in the caves in the catacombs, and Kirk is walking around in the place, and there's a guy that he's got to fight. He grabs a piece of whatever rock it is off the top of the wall, okay?
Mhm.
And I remember laughing when I saw it. It looked like a dick. And it was shaped like a two when he grabs it. He's going around with this plastic styrofoam dick in his hand. He's trying to fight this guy. I'm like, what the hell were they thinking?
He was always fighting with people.
And he always got his shirt ripped off.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes. They went through a lot of that was where their biggest expense was in new uniforms for the captain.
And the other episode that I really liked is when they had to work on that monster that looks like a piece of lasagna that they had to do an operation.
Oh yes.
And that I remember when Spock had the mind meld with the creature,
Mm-hmm.
but it looked like a piece of lasagna. It did. And of course, let's not forget the most famous episode of all. And yes, this is the most famous episode of all because everybody talks about it. The Trouble with Tribbles.
Yes. Yes.
And then they did a homage to that episode on was it? I think it was Deep Space Nine, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? Or was it Voyager?
I'm not really sure.
There you go. That's cool.
They started off with just one and they just multiplied again and again and again.
Because they were eating all the time, and that's what caused them to go crazy. Tribble. Yeah.
I wonder if that's where they got the idea for Gremlins, was from the Tribbles.
Maybe they did. Yeah.
They're furry like that, and they multiplied, and yeah.
And then we had this channel called Space back in the day, but now it's called the Sci-Fi Channel here in Canada. And I remember for a year, I couldn't be in my church choir because I was really sick. I forget what I had. And I would sit there every day and I'd watch the reruns of Star Trek, the original series, but they had the special effects one with the widescreen and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mud's Women, season 1, episode 6. Yeah, that was a good episode. I also like Amok Time, where Spock gets horny and he has to fight Kirk.
Yes.
And then they had, because they did a similar episode on The Next Generation, The Naked Now, where everybody started sweating and acting crazy, but I forget what the title of the original one was from the actual Star Trek series. Do you remember that one?
It's been a long time. I don't really remember it. It's like
I remember Sulu.
Yeah,
Sulu was sweating profusely, and he had a sword, and he was trying to fight everybody. Do you remember that one?
It seems familiar. It seems very familiar.
All right, I think we're ready for the next series. I wish I had this on the actual box set, but I don't. So, hey, Jenny, how you doing?
Hello, Jenny.
Welcome to the Enterprise. I am your host, Captain James T. Kirk. Permission to come aboard granted. And now we're going to show you our first adventures here. So make me big, please.
Okay.
Well, this was at my local library, and I took it out, And I just burnt it, because it was expensive at the time. I couldn't afford it. So sometimes you gotta make do with what you can afford, right?
Yep.
So we got the original series, season 1, episodes 1 to 3.
Oh, okay.
And you can see I numbered them 4 to 6. What episodes are on each disc? 4 to 6. It would have been funny if I put 7 of 9. See my little pun there? So we got that. And 12. $13 to $15. Hope Mr. Beckham gets here soon. 16 to 18. 19 to 21.
Wow.
A lot of episodes.
That
22 to 24. 25 to 27. And the last disc for season 1 is 28 and 29. But
okay.
if you watch it on Netflix, it says there's 30 episodes because they include the cage.
Oh, okay.
So now we go to season 2. And just 2, 3 to 6.
Jenny has a quick question for you. She's asking if you collect Star Trek records.
No, but I'd like to. That would be cool. Do you have some, Jenny? If you want to come up and show them, you're more than welcome. I'd like to see them. So now we have 7 to 10. This is still season 2, by the way. 11 to 14. I kind of messed up on this one. I only put 15, but I forget where it goes to. Oh, and then we have 16 to 19 on this one.
Okay.
Then we have 20 to 23. And then we have 24 to 26. It was a shorter season. So now we go to the last season, season 3, episodes 1 to 4. Easier if I go like that. 5 to 8. Trying to hold them and not drop them. That's the thing. 9 to 12. Excuse me. 13 to 16. 17 to 20. And then the last one, 21 to 24. Very short season for that. And we have the special features and the cage.
The cage and the bonus features.
All right, you make me small.
All right.
So, Mr. Spock, do you have any Star Trek stuff you can show us?
Unfortunately, I don't. I left it all back home on my home planet.
Oh, no.
Left it all back there on my home planet, unfortunately.
I have a couple of the kids' power records, I think. Well, that'd be cool. Jenny, come on up. We'll beam you up and you can show us the records. I'd like to see those. Be cool to have more on the Star Trek panel today. I'll put this back. Well, you know what? This saves money the way I did this. I know they look boring, but it'd be nice if I had the box. Thank you, Miss Hoprod. Thank you, Jen, very much. All right, let's put that over there if I can get it onto my coffee table without falling off my chair. Okay, not completely there, but it'll balance.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I had a lot of the Star Trek toys when I was a kid, like the
oh, yeah?
play sets and the where you put the figures and there's a wheel where you'd spin it to make it look like they're being transported.
Oh, cool. I'm away from home
Pretty
right
cool.
now, so
They're
sorry.
probably worth a lot now, but
Okay, even if it's not a Star Trek theme, Jenny, you're welcome to come and join me on camera anytime you want. What would you say is your favorite Star Trek: The Next Generation episode?
oh, she says she's away from home right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have actually not seen The Next Generation. I've not seen any of it.
You have not watched The Next Generation with Captain
No.
Jean-Luc Picard?
No, unfortunately. I've been super, super busy.
Well, my favorite episode from that series is from season 1, and it's called The Big Goodbye, where he plays this fictional character, Dixon Hill, who's like a detective. And it's something different from the original Star Trek. They have something called a holodeck. It's like a square room, and then you tell the computer where you want to go. If you want to visit Paris, you can go to Paris, and it's got all the scenes. You can set up the scenes and everything, but all the people that you see in there are not real. You're just like holograms. And I really fell in love with that episode, and it won an Emmy. That episode, The Big Goodbye, which I'll show you momentarily when I show you all 7 seasons of The Next Generation, because that's the only 2 series that I own, is the original and Next Generation, because it would be very expensive to get Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the other one called Enterprise. There's Star Trek the Animated Series. There's Picard. There's Discovery, Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks. There's a lot of Star Trek shows out there.
There's a ton.
It's like, where do you start? You can go on forever and ever, and
yeah. And then all the
know
movies.
where you're going to end.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first fell in love with the original Star Trek series, and I really started to like Spock. I thought his character was so good. And I really loved Scotty. Scotty was funny.
Oh, yes.
Captain, I've given her all she's got.
I'm giving her all I got, Captain. I can't give her any more.
Ooh, Leonard Nimoy released 5 studio record albums from 1967 to 1970. It would be fun to see if you could find them now. Ooh. Oh, make Richard big.
Okay.
Highlight his comment. I bought the 50th anniversary 30-disc Blu-ray set, all 3 seasons of the original series, the animated series, and the first 6 movies. Got it used during a half-price sale at a local store.
Very good.
Wow, that would be cool to have that. Then I'd have the animated series as well, but I bet it was bloody expensive too. Because some of those big box sets are like over $300 or more.
They can add up pretty quick.
Yeah, you have to have the big bucks to buy those things. Let me tell you, they're not cheap.
Yeah, I found a video of the playset that I used to have.
Oh,
it was the bridge from the original Starship Enterprise.
Cool. Yeah, show it.
Show it here.
Let's have a look. You might want to see the little square thing to make it bigger, so we can see it bigger. Yeah, let's make it big.
There we go.
Oh my god, the old video game sounds.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph here. I'm reviewing the Mego Star Trek USS Bridge playset, or the Enterprise playset. But anyways, this playset was made in the 1970s, and it is good. It's in pretty good condition for its age. And I cannot wait to show you guys this awesome playset that I just absolutely love. So basically, you fold this thing open, and inside you got Captain Share, obviously. This thing is complete, actually, and the thing I love about this playset is, even though literally the bridge is not realistic at all to the show or animated series at all, but still,
It's
I
very
love what Migo is
70s ish.
going for here. The original prototype looked like it had gray walls, but I don't know. But right here, we got nice art, so cheesy and funky, and just screams the 70s to me, to be honest with you. And right here, we got 3 screens. We got an alien looking on planet or something. We got gods trying to save the Enterprise or something. I don't know. Right here, you got a kaboom or whatever. And right here, you got McCoy and Spock or whatever, And then right here, we got this little, I don't know, planets. And then we got a tree with cherries on it. I don't know. But, anyways, we got this awesome screen we're going to put on that little 2 hooks
They
there. And
just
now it
snap
keeps it
on
up.
there.
And you can flip those over and choose whatever. But right now, I'm just going to use that screen. Now, if we take a look around back, we got the USS Enterprise, just, and you got this galaxy art around the whole entire playset, which is nice. And the playset's
Hey,
pretty
Lisa.
wide. Right here, you got a door for a reason we'll explain later, and I wonder where it goes to. Ooh. Anyways, right here is the playset. Now, we're going to put some figures in there.
Oh, wow.
All right, we got this bad boy decked out in some Star Trek figures. McCoy and Scotty are customs I've created, but a couple of things are custom, but honestly, some of them are new Migo, like Chekhov and Sulu and Spock and Lieutenant Uhura. I want to show you this feature. This is the teleporter. I want to show you how it works. So right here, this thing's so cool. You can spin this thing around, but right here, you see that original Klingon in there. But what you can do is you flick it around. Well, there's Gorn right there. So you got 2 options. You got right there. So what you're gonna do is you flip it around, you hit a button, you get Gorn. I press green, which is it has a green decal on it, but spin it red, you get Klingon. I love this feature so much. It's so fun to play with. You insert Planet of the Apes characters. I don't know, anything you can think of. This playset is so fun, and there's so many things you can do to this thing. It is so creative, amigo, and I just love it. And right back, we got Scotty and Lieutenant Uhura hiding out in the back. The color choices for this playset are so weird. Obviously, it doesn't look like anything like the Enterprise, the bridge, but at the same time, the imagination, the stories, it's all the imagination what you can come up with during playtime are endless, and even doubles as a carrying case to store all your action figures and accessories. And the teleporter is obviously the highlight. I freaking love that thing. And right here you have McCoy or Scotty beam up someone. The playtime possibilities are endless, folks, and it's such a great playset. And I love this thing dearly. And right here is the chair, curse chair, whatever, and it has like switches, decals to talk to, and you got a red alert button, I'm guessing, and you got a console for cellular Chekhov to work on, or any other Star Trek characters you have in your collection. And the door we mentioned earlier, you can take out your hero or villain and they can escape and go somewhere else, wander off. And when you're done playing with your bridge, you can pack it up and take it somewhere outside or store it. Well, guys, that was my review on the Migo Star Trek USS Enterprise Bridge playset. I love this thing, and you should get one yourself because it is absolutely amazing. Thank you all so much for watching. If you can subscribe and like this video, please let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And see you next video coming up soon. Goodbye.
There you go.
I noticed something on Kirk's shirt. You know, when they did a close-up of him, it looked more orange than yellow.
Yeah.
Or gold.
Yeah.
I guess that's from the lighting.
Probably from the lighting made the shirts look different. They're kind of like a mustardy yellow, I think. But
Yeah, I thought Spock looked really good. He really looked like the real Leonard Nimoy. The way
they did a good job with the characters.
They created him.
But you could take those figures out of the thing and you'd spin it around, and they had like a little colored thing, like the guy was showing a little colored spot on there. So you'd put one of the figures in there, you'd spin it, and you push the button, and you'd pick what slot you wanted to be empty, and that way it looked like they actually disappeared. And then you just pull up a little hatch in the back.
I like that idea. I wonder if one day we'll ever have that kind of technology to be beamed to other places.
Maybe.
Well, it would save money on airfare, that's for sure.
There you go.
Want to go to California? Beam me to California. Just set in your coordinate. Away you go. You're there. In the original series, the bridge was actually turned 36 degrees to the left, so the turbolift doors were stage rear center on the set. So view screen was not actually pointed towards front of ship. I never knew that, Bob. That's interesting. And Bob gave me a little tip the other day that actually not once on the original episodes did anybody say, "Beam me up, Scotty." I think that's just something the fans used to say.
Yes, yes.
Because not once did they say, "Beam me up." But I know that, I know Kirk always said, "Energize" or "Take us out."
I think he might have said
and
bring us aboard a couple times too, I think.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. In the season 1, he used to say, "Captain out," and then later on in the series, he used to say, "Kirk out." I don't know if that started in season 2 or 3, but in the original series, he was saying "Captain out." Then later on was "Kirk out." But I like the technology for for the Doctor. You know, all the cool things. He had that little thing that he could just go over the body and heal something, and like I bet one day that technology is gonna be actually realized, and we'll have that kind of technology one day, and we'll be able to use that in our own doctor's offices.
There you go.
That would be cool, Lisa. Lisa, you wanna come up and join us and tell some Star Trek stories you might have? Put the coordinates out for her, Mr. Spock. Now you're supposed to say, "Aye, aye, Captain."
Right.
You don't know much about Star Trek. Yeah, come up and join us anyway. It'll be fun. You could be Lieutenant Uhura.
She has more of the temperament of Bones.
Yeah, she does.
I'm a doctor, Jim, not a coal miner.
All right, beam her up, Mr. Spock.
All righty.
Scotty's suffering a hangover right now, so he's out of commission.
Okay, I've not seen her backstage yet, so... Well, there she is.
Beam her up and energize.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Hey, how you doing, Lisa?
Okay, I don't know much about Star Trek, but I did see the new Star Trek a while back in theater.
So, do you know who the main characters are?
Kurt, Spock, right? Kurt, Spock. I know there's a character called Sulu.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know there's one character, Chekhov. I think that's his name, Chekhov.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. Who in the new version was played by Anton Yelchin, who sadly passed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in a car crash.
Yeah, and the car crashed on top of him. I know there's what's that girl's name? I forgot her name now. The one Michelle Nichols played.
Lieutenant Uhura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know a little bit about Star Trek, not enough to call myself a Trekkie.
Ah.
I'm letting Sheldon from Big Bang Theory down.
Uh-oh. I'm just bookmarking that link that Bob put in the chat so I can take a look at that later.
What did Bob? Let me see what Bob did. Hello, Richard. Oh, cool. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't want to offend any Star Trek fans. That's why I don't talk
Well, you
about what
did
I
pretty
do.
good. You did pretty good.
Oh, I know
Okay.
the main characters. Everybody knows the main characters.
Mm. So, I'm going to tell you one of my favorite scenes from the beginning of Star Trek Five: The Final Frontier.
What?
Okay, it starts out where you see the mountain, and Kirk is climbing without equipment, and then
Mhm.
Spock is flying up on these jet boots. He's like, and he's hovering in front of Kirk, and he says, "Captain, you don't realize the gravity of your situation." And then Kirk falls off the side of the mountain. You see Spock go down on the jet boots and grab him. And the other guys are making a campfire at the bottom. He goes, "Hi guys, mind if I drop in?" And then the sequence comes in. But I love that. I love that line, Captain. You don't realize the gravity of your situation.
No, I mean there's a lot of different Star Treks, right? There's William Shatner's version of William Shatner when he was on Star Trek. I think
Mhm.
Patrick Stewart was also on Star Trek, right? Too.
Mhm.
Like he had
That's
a version
correct.
with Captain Picard.
Yes.
Mm. I used to watch as a kid. I like Data. I think that was his name, Data.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love Data.
Yeah, I watched it as a kid, and then they have a new version that came out within the last 2 to 3 years with, I think Anthony Rapp is in it, Picard or something.
Yep, Picard. Yep.
Mm, let's see. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, I will show you because it's your favorite series. I will show you the Next Generation. I have the series. All right, make me big,
Okay.
please. On screen. We're on the on-screen viewer. So
I
here's
think
Star Trek.
that's the one I saw as a kid. I think every kid has seen that one.
This is season 1,
Uh,
and it opens like this, and it gives you all the. There's 7. What? How many discs are in here? 7 discs, and it gives you
wow.
all the episodes.
Hmm?
And then it opens like this. Um, and you get. If I can get this out. Hold on, let me try to get this out so I can show you what's inside here.
Very
Decide to
creative.
cooperate and come out of there because I know it does.
It's a pretty big. It's a pretty big box. Mhm.
Yeah, for DVD it is. Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
the logo on the back. Opens like that. Okay.
Cool.
1, 2, 3. 4.
Hmm.
5. 6 and 7, and then you
Wow.
get a little episode guide here. If I can just balance that without dropping it. Yeah, that'll lean against me.
Nice. Yeah, Patrick Stewart was just meant to
There's
play.
his number 1, William Riker, and there's Lieutenant Geordie LaForge. There's the Enterprise.
Mhm.
There's Data, Deanna Troy.
Yeah.
Tasha
Oh, they also
Yar.
have the guy from Reading Rainbow in there too.
Yeah, LeVar Burton.
LeVar
There-
Burton.
Hmm.
There's what's his face there? Wesley Crusher. His mom Beverly Crusher. There's Mr. Worf.
Is that your favorite Star Trek? Or do you like, which Star Trek do you like? The movie version?
Oh,
Or
I like
the
the
Next
series. The series.
Generation?
I like
Or you like the original?
I like everything. But the Next Generation was my first foray into the Star Trek
I
universe.
think
So
that was a lot of us younger kids foray into Star Trek because they would have it on TV, and I would just sit there, come home from school, and it'd be on.
oh yeah.
'Cause we didn't have the old Star Trek when I was growing up. I don't think they played that on regular TV.
And now we go into season 2, which is on Blu-ray.
Mm,
It's going to
nice.
be a mix of Blu-ray and DVD because that's what they had at my drugstore at the time. So I just
Uh,
grabbed what I could.
there's probably a box set out there, right?
Yeah, season 2. And then this introduced Whoopi Goldberg as Guinan.
Oh yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah.
So here's disc 1, disc 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Nice.
And the episode guides are on the inside, but I'm not going to take the disc out to show that
Nice.
because that would be too much. Now we go to season 3, which is also on Blu-ray.
Cool.
And this is the famous 2-part episode of I Am Borg. No, the best of both worlds, where Picard becomes Locutus. Resistance is futile.
Yeah.
So we got, there's the front. There's the back. And here's the discs inside. Disc 1 and 2. 3 and 4. 5 and 6.
Nice.
Now we go to season 4.
Wow. That show was on for a while, I think. Yeah.
Here we go. And here's this has part 2 of the Best of Both Worlds. So we have disc 1 and 2. 3 and 4. Thank you, Jen. And 5 and 6. Now we go back to DVD.
Oh, cool. Did you ever think about buying the box set? I'm sure the box set would have everything in it if they ever come out with a nice box set.
But this is good enough. At least I have the series, so it doesn't matter to me.
There you go.
So we have Star Trek Next Generation Season 4, and there's Geordi and the Enterprise.
Nice.
And Toute la Gang.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's there. Deanna looking hot. I always had a crush on her.
Mm-hmm.
So we got disc number 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5.
Yeah.
6 and 7.
Oh.
And then the final season is one of those big boxes again. Oh wait, no, we're not done yet. No, we're only.
Didn't they do like another season after that one of like spinoff?
I'm not going to take the box out. I'm just going to say that there's 7 discs in here because this one's too big.
Yeah.
So there's 7 discs in here, and then we go to the final season with Mr. Worf.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
This is the final season. And we open that up, and it goes to disc 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7. So that concludes that. Now I've got 2 other things to show you. All right. Now this is something my friend Sean Spin sent me. This is a comic book, and the drawings are really amazing in this. Wait till you see this.
Nice.
Best of Picard.
Mm.
Now wait till you see inside.
I'm sure there's tons of comic books on Star Trek. You have any Funko Pops, James?
Yeah, I got 3 Funko Pops.
I'll
show you those in a minute. Let me find a good picture of there's a nice picture of Captain.
Nice. They drew to him really well in that book.
Okay, that's all I'm going to show that because I don't want to. Oh, wait. There's more stuff here in the back.
You won't get taken down for showing a comic book.
No, Star Trek New Visions. No, I just don't want to wreck the comic and bend it.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Yeah, don't worry.
There you go.
Artwork's nice on that.
And now,
Yeah.
I got this on my birthday from a friend.
Oh, nice.
The complete guide to Star Trek.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. That's what
cool.
you see in the that's what you see in the opening title sequence.
Yeah.
There's Enterprise over here. And there's Mr. Worf. Captain, you look nice in your uniform. Thank you, Mr. Worf. Engage. He's dead, Jim.
Oh yeah, he passed away.
Yeah,
Live long and prosper.
that looks pretty cool.
Did you ever try to learn the language Klingon?
No, but they have an encyclopedia, and they have the actual one to teach you how to speak it.
It'd be kind of cool to learn the language so you can go and be on a bus and you can talk Klingon. People would understand what you say.
Without freedom of choice, there is no creativity.
That's right.
Captain James T. Kirk, Star Trek, Season 1, The Return of the Archons.
He was a wise dude, and he was good looking in that TV show. William Shatner.
I'm going to read you a few quotes in here we got. Let's see. I'm a doctor, not an escalator. Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy, Star Trek, Season 2, Friday's Child. Other Bones McCoy quotes. When the personality of a human is involved, exact predictions are hazardous. From Season 3. I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer. I love that line. I'm a doctor, not a coal miner. Other Captain James T. Kirk quotes. We prefer to help out ourselves. We make mistakes, but we're human. And maybe that's the word that best explains us. They used to say that if man was meant to fly, he'd have wings, but he did fly. He discovered he had to. What else have we got here? Anything else? Make it so. Captain Jean-Luc Picard frequently. Other Captain Jean-Luc Picard quotes. We have live now, always, make the most precious time, will never come again. With the first link, the chain is forged, the first speech censored, the first thought forbidden, the first freedom denied, chains us all irrevocably. Yeah, so we got that. And of course, the most famous line of Spock. Would you like to read that, Mr. Spock? It's your line.
Who's Mr. Spock?
Live long and prosper.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, that is
And
the most line.
there's the love of my life, Captain Janeway.
I forgot James. Oh wait, no, Davis Spock. I was like looking at his eyebrows. I was like, he's going for a mix of Spock and.
Do you remember these guys from The Cage?
Oh yes,
The ones with the big heads?
What's
They look
the
like
big
the
head?
Animate kind of
Like-
Twilight Zone.
Of course, we have Q.
Yeah.
Of course, the original green dancing lady. Kirk always liked the green ones.
Well, yeah, because he was green with envy.
There's Gorn.
Yeah. And the green ladies will never let you down. That's probably why I got with them.
There's that lasagna-looking creature.
Lasagna looking creature.
Oh, it does.
Well, the Italians would love him.
Locutus.
Locutus. Sounds like a
Uh,
a hood name. Locutus.
The Cardassians, the Borg. There's the Ferengi.
Oh, I thought you said the Kardashians. I was like, what, the Kardashians?
I'm serious. There is Cardassians.
That would explain a lot.
Never be in Star Trek. Can you imagine?
There's a nice looking Spock right there. What else have we got in here? Oh, that's a nice. I want that jacket of Picard. It's pretty nice looking.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they had a Star Trek convention.
There's the bald lady from the motion picture. Forget her name, but I just call her the bald lady.
I don't know if they have a Star Trek convention out here in LA, but I assume they would.
There's from the movie, the motion picture. See? Because she is a bald lady. Just trying to find some cool pictures.
I guess I gotta say the catchphrase that we say in other streams.
There's Trouble with Tribbles.
For the newbies here, I'm gonna say the catchphrase.
All right.
Star Trek doesn't get you laid.
That's okay.
It's a running joke we have.
There's an old TV back in the day. Remember those days?
Oh, yeah. I had one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, we all did back in the day.
It's a running joke, James. That
There's Lieutenant Dax.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mr. Wolf.
Mm.
Let's see what else. Trying to find some good pictures.
Crazy to think. Wow. Crazy to think that William Shatner's 90 now.
Yes.
I know.
He was the first Kirk.
Here's the crew of Enterprise. That was a good series.
Yeah.
And that happens way before James T. Kirk.
Uh-huh.
Here's Deep Space Nine. No, sorry, Voyager. With my
I'm
lovely...
sure Deep Space Nine could have been a play off of Star Trek, too.
Oh, they forgot something. They forgot 7 of 9. But there's my lovely Captain Janeway. What else? There's the Ferengi, Quark. And he used to call them humans. Humans. There we go.
The uniforms did evolve over time.
And so did the communicator badges. Because they used to use the flip things, but then they just had to hit their logo thing in Next Generation. So it was quite... Look at how Spock evolved from that one. That's from the cage.
I mean, there's the new version. I think the new version of Star Trek has a Spock on the TV.
Yeah. And if you don't know who that is, then there's something wrong with you. Who's that?
Oh, that's that is Joan Crawford.
No, that's Lucille Ball.
I know, I'm being an asshole. It's I said Joan Crawford.
That's Lucille Ball.
That is. Lucy as a kid.
That's a good picture of me.
That's a good picture.
Captain.
That's a good picture.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if I was around at that time, I wouldn't kick William Shatner out of bed.
There's the teleporter. And of course, Gene Roddenberry.
Bob says he thinks there's a rumor they're thinking about bringing back Deep Space Nine.
Oh, wow.
That'd be very interesting.
That would be.
I mean, I would like a modernized version of certain shows.
There we go.
There's one show they should have brought.
Right, you make me small.
There's one show they should have brought back, and that was canceled too soon. Is Firefly. I'm sorry, but Firefly was a show that should have gone on.
Yeah, that only lasted one season, I think.
Yeah, and then I used to watch Doctor Who, but I kind of stopped. Yeah.
How come?
I found something for you, James.
Well, I don't know. You know,
Oh, cool.
I don't know. I forgot about it.
This is not the real thing, but incredible simulation.
Cool.
Ooh.
Surprise. It's dead in space. Stop talking. An alien radar by mysterious forces. And I have somehow escaped off the grid.
Hey, Mr. Beckham.
Facing the captain of an alien ship. Weaponless, I face the creature.
Pause that for a second. Mr. Beckham, Mr. Spock will put out the link for you to come up and join us.
I must fight to remember that this intelligent
Get one.
alien craft captain of the starship like itself. Undoubtedly dangerous.
That is so cool.
Things are getting a little bit grainy. I was like, things were. I'm starting to. Let's see what we got here.
Put the link out for Mr. Beckham. Okay. Okay, give me a few thanks.
I
Okay.
guess Jen wants to see some picture that you have. I don't know what it is, but she wants to see it. Not you, Dave. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I showed all the pictures from the book.
Maybe Dave has something that we haven't seen. I mean, Dave is dressed up as a Trekkie.
Oh, he's Mr. Spock.
Some friends of ours went and met Captain Kirk.
Oh, wow.
Oh, which Captain Kirk? William Shatner, Captain Kirk?
William Shatner. Yeah, this was 2 years ago, I think.
I would be very happy to meet William Shatner. I used to always say my uncle looked like the Asian William Shatner.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
My Uncle Doogie looks like
Some friends of ours that went back together.
Yeah. Yeah, my uncle looks like William Shatner. We used to always joke around with him and say he looked like William Shatner.
This year. Yeah.
Nice. That is nice. You know, William Shatner became the oldest person to go on space.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
My Uncle Dewey is a spitting image of him. He looks like Shatner.
Do you have a picture of him?
Not with
Uncle
me.
Dewey?
I'll have to find one.
No.
I'll have to find one.
Yeah, because William Shatner is
That's the biggest.
William Shatner is cool. If I had a picture of my uncle, I'd show you him. He looks like the Asian William Shatner.
Oh, yeah?
I always joked around with him. He had no idea who William Shatner was, but he laughed about it. It's like, you look like William Shatner.
You want to hear my impression of George Takei?
Do that. Oh my. Oh my. What does he have a catchphrase he says on Star Trek?
I don't think so, but I always remember when he did that on an episode of The Simpsons. He just go, "Oh my!"
I mean, I follow George Takei on Facebook, so.
Oh yeah.
I liked him as Sulu.
But I think he was really pissed off when Shatner went into space because he wasn't invited.
Well, yeah. George Takei was like, "Oh my, you won't let me go to space."
To boldly go where Shatner has never gone before.
Yeah.
And he made it into space. The bottom of the transporter in the original series was used at the top of the transporter Next Generation. I never knew that, Bob. Wow, that's cool.
Awesome. I need to. I'm not a full-fledged Trekkie yet. I need to learn more about Star Trek.
Well, you come to the right place. We will teach you. We're only an hour and 4 minutes into the show, but stick around and you'll.
Well, because I've seen parts of the original. I've seen a lot of the one with Patrick Stewart as a kid, and I've seen the Star Trek movies, the one with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto playing Spock. Wait, no, the middle one they didn't have a Kurt or a Spock. They had different characters.
And we're going to have this gentleman joining us in a few moments up on screen, Mr. Beckham.
Oh, cool. So he's a big
friend
Star Trek.
Danielle. Remember Danielle?
Oh, yeah. I think I remember him. I think I remember him because Cap had brought some of his friends into the vinyl community or the
Yeah,
music
'cause
community.
you'll like him. He's really nice, Mr. Beckham.
I've met
I
him
mean,
before. I've
he's
met
a
him
huge
before.
Star Wars and Star Trek nerd.
I
So I
remember the time we had him on a stream with Cap and he fell asleep on camera. Yeah, I remember that, Mr. Beckham. He fell asleep on camera. And I remember the time he tried to go to the Sharon Tate house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a he was on Cap stream and he tried to go to the Sharon Tate house. He tried to get over the fence.
Oh my god.
Oh, Beckham's a character.
Yeah. I can't wait for him to get his butt up here. It's gonna be fun talking Star Trek with him. I
Yeah,
bet
I
he has
mean,
some
I
cool
have
stories and
some.
stuff to show.
I have some nerdy Funko Pops in my collection, but they're not Star Trek.
Oh,
They're
no?
Star Wars because I like Star Wars.
I just love stupid trivia, but can't remember what I had for breakfast. Don't we all, Bob? Don't we all?
Yeah.
Well, the older we get, the more crazy we get.
Oh yes.
No, I think the older we get, the more wiser I hope we get, and we realize, oh, we can't do the things we did when we were younger, but we can still, enjoy the shows we love as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make it so. That's a Picard line.
Yeah. Make it so, yeah.
Yeah,
What are we
we're
waiting
gonna
for?
wait for Mr. Beckham.
Oh,
Yeah. What is your favorite show as a kid, James, that you still watch now?
if they had every single season from the start of it, that would be Mr. Dress Up.
Ah, the show
And I-
that I still watch from when I was a kid that I watch now is probably Sesame Street. I still watch Sesame Street.
Yeah, I love Sesame Street.
That was something I watched as a kid. Alvin and the Chickmunks.
Oh yeah,
That came out in 83, 84. Of
I
course,
remember that.
Fraggle
Hey,
Rock.
Walrus Gumboot.
I still watch SpongeBob, even though I didn't watch as a kid. I still watch SpongeBob.
I think you have to smoke some reefer and watch that show because Patrick alone, he looks like he's stoned.
Well, the best episode of SpongeBob is when Squidward is starting a band, and he's like, "Oh, this band's gonna suck," and they go out on stage and they all rock. Yeah, I love that episode. They proved Squidward wrong. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. I mean, that sounds like drug-related music at the end.
Yeah, what else? Oh, Tailspin, Chippendales,
Rescue
There's so
Rangers,
many.
and then yeah,
Rescue Rangers. There were so many shows that
DuckTales.
Rocco's Modern Life, Beavis and Butthead,
Oh yeah, don't forget Ren and Stimpy.
Rugrats. Oh yeah, I remember Ren and Stimpy. You had to be high to enjoy that show. I swear.
I watched
show
it when I
was
had a wicked
invented.
hangover. I watched a marathon of Ren and Stimpy with a hangover. Oh my god, that's the best hangover cartoon you can watch.
I felt like Ren and Stimpy was invented for the stoners.
All
Like they
right, see
need
you
to
later,
show
Bob.
something. Bye, Bob.
You know, if our friends are going to be doing another vlog today.
Have a good day, Bob. Thank you for coming.
See you later.
See you, Bob.
Live long and prosper, Bob.
Yeah.
All right, beam him down to the planet. Beam him back to Earth. Oh wait, he could just take the shuttle.
There
He
you go.
can. If you had to go and teleport yourself to any country, what country would you teleport yourself to?
Of course, it would be
Any of you.
England. So I could go
England?
on this tour.
Yeah. That's cool.
Hey, the best part is you don't have to go through customs.
Exactly. I would go to like I said Japan and Italy, but I'd also go to Spain.
Oh yeah.
Those are like my top 3 places I've been wanting to go to since forever. Is Spain, Italy, and Japan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just give me a second while I put these back on the shelf before I knock something over.
Yeah.
Just a
Okay.
second.
Live
Mr.
long
Spock,
and prosper.
Mr. Spock, you have the con.
I have the control. I am now a captain of the ship. I have command.
Yes, you are. Just get us safely to point A to point B.
There you go.
Don't hit on any women while we're getting to the.
So, yeah, I'm the only one who dressed up today.
Well, I don't have any costumes, and I don't have any Star Trek to show. I know Star Trek. I just never went around collecting it.
Hmm. My mom loves Star Trek, so that's why I had all the toys as a kid.
Yeah. I mean, the guy who did the original Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry, did some other great series too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm more into like Twilight Zone and stuff like that.
And me, I'm more into I don't know. I'm like into Doctor Who,
Hmm. Doctor Who's
more
good.
Doctor Who, Stranger Things,
Hmm.
yeah, and Star Wars, of course.
There we go.
And the captain's back.
Live long,
Welcome
prosper.
back, Captain.
Mhm.
You're Captain Kirk.
The
I'll
captain
just
is
be
back.
Gamora. I'll be Gamora, even though it's from a different series.
Ah. We're
Yeah.
all living in the Twilight Zone. Remember that
Oh,
song?
and also I like Marvel too. Marvel is another thing I
Hmm.
like watching. I'm not as knowledgeable as Paulina, but yeah.
Wow. I bet Paulina knows a lot about Star Trek.
I think she does.
I don't know.
Okay, Spock, you have the con again. I'm gonna go to the toilet.
Oh,
Dang it.
okay.
You sit down, you think you're all ready to go, and then you're like, ah, crap, something else. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Hold
That's
on.
never good. That's never good. Sorry. Okay, Captain, take care of that. All righty.
Take good care, Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
There you go. That's true.
Now I'm quoting John Keats. Oh,
I do look like Mo Howard instead of Captain Spock, Mr. Spock.
you look like an evil Spock, like the Spock that's gonna take over the world.
$1 million.
You look like you look like the evil Spock,
Yeah.
like the Spock that came from Turkey or something. You remember the Turkish Star Trek?
Yes, I've seen that. Hello, George.
Yeah. The first time I saw that is when Tim showed me it. I never knew. I was like, oh, interesting. It was like a low budget Star Trek, but they had all the characters. That's a good idea. Someone should create a low budget Star Trek movie.
That would be a good idea.
That would. James, work on it. James has to let those aliens out. Yeah, that's right. The aliens have been terrorizing his enterprise for a while. I think Kurt got tired of his ship.
I'm gonna find something here.
I like the Twilight Zone too, Hop Frog. Oh, Miss Hawthorne again. I love the Twilight Zone. Welcome back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
At least I don't have to get up again.
I feel like you could do a Russian accent, Dave, with your costume. You could be a Russian Spock.
I am Russian Spock. I am here to take over the Enterprise. All right, let's see if this is showing. There we go. Can watch this one here.
The worst fight
from the-
scene.
This is from the Turkish remake of Star Trek.
Oh yeah,
my
the
God.
Turkish remake. The Turkish Star Trek is definitely the funniest.
Hey, Jorge.
Look at him fighting. Yeah, that's a bad fighting scene. Oh
Hey, Mr.
no!
Beckham.
Oh
Hey guys,
no!
how's
He's
everybody
like,
doing today?
Pretty
we're
good.
doing good. We're watching Turkish Star Wars. I mean, not Star Wars, Star Trek.
All right.
Oh no! Yeah, that's the first time I saw it, I was like, yeah, that exists. Yeah, it'd be funny if they made like an Indian version of Star Wars.
James,
Mhm.
when's the next Star Trek movie coming?
I don't know. They're supposed to make a Star Trek 4, but I don't think it ever went into production.
Is it going to be the same cast or is it going to be different people?
I'm hoping it's the same cast because Zachary
Miss Pine
Quinto
and
is the
yeah.
best Spock you can find.
I think they would. Who else was in that? Besides Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, John Cho played Sulu.
Um,
That young
So-
one guy passed away in a freak accident.
yeah,
Yeah,
Anton Yelkin, and then there was Zoe Saldana.
yeah, Anton Yelchin.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Simon
Anton
Pegg.
Yelchin. Oh yeah, Simon Pegg. Who does he play? I forgot.
Scotty.
Oh, Scotty. Yeah, yeah. I like Simon Pegg. He's really my favorite thing that Simon Pegg has done is the Shaun of the Dead movies. Those are hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Now the
Yeah,
guy that plays the guy that plays Spock, you guys just said his name.
Yeah.
Zachary Quinto.
Yeah, he's currently on the House of Horrors or something, or what's that TV show?
Oh,
Right?
American Horror Story.
Yeah, American Horror Story. He's on that right now.
And
Oh,
he was
cool.
originally on Heroes back in the day.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. That show lasted what, like 2 years?
Maybe
I think.
more.
3 years.
3 or 4 seasons, I think.
I
I
felt
like-
like
I
that
like
show. I felt like that show could have gone on longer. There's like some shows that definitely could have gone on longer. That was one of them.
Hey, Walrus Gumboot, if you can you text what's his face or Tim Allen, tell him to get his button here if he wants to be part of the panel. If he'll miss out on all this Star Trek cool
And
stuff.
Walrus had a question for Lisa. He asked if did you check out any of the CDs that were in the background of your video yesterday?
I did. There was nothing that really caught my eye. And plus, I've been buying a lot of CDs lately, so I kind of had to slow down.
Mhm.
I bought like 12 CDs this month.
Oh
I'm
my
like, I
God.
gotta slow down. But they were like $2.99 each. You know, I can't pass a good bargain.
That's a good price.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Yeah.
good price for CDs.
Mr. Beckham.
I didn't see anything.
Tell us your favorite episode of Star Trek, the original series.
Well, growing up, I was, of course, I saw Star Wars first, but then I was, I saw Star Trek, and it was kind of, as a little kid, you're kind of, well, there's kind of some similarities, or at least to me there was. So, of course, being a young boy, you're like into the action scenes, the fight scenes, and stuff like that, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I always found Captain Kirk, like when he was like always trying to hook up with a chick or something. I always thought that was his flirtatious ways,
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I like the one where I don't know the name of the episode. I couldn't tell you the name of the episode, but when he's talking to because you're also a kid, you like colors, and I remember, of course, the Incredible Hulk being green,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think my favorite episode would have to be the one where he's talking to that green lady.
Oh yeah. He always had a thing for colored people.
Right? Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, he didn't. He
So
didn't discriminate. Captain Kirk didn't discriminate.
he didn't discriminate, Lisa. That's right.
No.
Yeah,
And
So
there
it
was
was all about colors for me as a kid, because
yeah.
and because it was a taboo back in the 60s, there was the episode, the controversial episode where he had to kiss Uhura.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
hearing
that's
about
right.
that.
The girl, the lady.
Yeah, people were up in arms about that.
Were they really back then?
Yeah,
Oh
back
yeah, that
then.
was a taboo.
In the
That was a
man.
no-no.
60s, I think, was that show what, 1964?
1966
like
to 69.
Well, even though we had, passed the thing with Martin Luther King, people were still kind of like,
Right. Uh-huh.
up in arms. Even to this day, there are
Yeah.
things that people are still up in arms about. Never ends.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mm,
What you got back in the day wouldn't fly
yeah.
these days.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you think about it, there are shows like All in the Family that wouldn't fly nowadays, but
Oh, you
in the
could not. Oh,
70s,
yeah, that show. Oh my God, that show would just. Oh yeah, and there's no way that
that
one
show
would be
would not
today.
fly today, but my dad loves that
No.
show. Ironically, my
Mhm.
dad is kind of like Archie Bunker. I can see why that's his favorite show. Yeah, I call him the Archie Bunker of our family. Because some of the things that Archie Bunker says, I'm like, Dad, you say those exact things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, but no, I watched All in the Family. But I think nowadays we're more accepting of interracial couples on screen than they would have been when Star Trek aired that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we come a long way.
Yep, we have. So, Mr. Beckham, of the newer Star Trek series, like Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, Voyager, and so on and so forth, Next Generation, what
Mhm.
would you say is one of your favorites out of those?
The one with Captain Picard, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
He
Patrick
carried
Stewart.
he carried the show. He was the A-lister, definitely. Uh, actor, and he carried that show. Now, for a fun one, do you remember that Ryan girl? What was that? She was hot.
Oh yeah, 7 of 9.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever she was in, I like that one because of her.
That was Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah, Voyager. There you go.
Yeah, she was hot, but I always had a major crush on Captain Janeway.
I'm sorry, I have to agree with Mr. Beckham.
I don't know why. I just found her so.
I don't-
Kate
and I don't-
Mulgrew. I just found her
You
so
like
attractive.
you like the Amish looking girls. I'm just kidding, James.
And I also had a crush on Deanna Troy. Like, who didn't?
Yeah, I could see that. A bunch of guys did.
Counselor, I need some counseling.
I heard they brought back a show. I was seeing a poster for a Quantum Leap or something. Yeah,
They're
they
Yeah.
brought
doing
back,
a Quantum Leap again?
yeah,
well,
I think
it's
they brought
already
back
active.
Quantum Leap.
I think it's
I didn't
active.
know
I mean, I
that.
think it's going on right now somewhere.
Yeah,
If you're rebooting it, yeah.
yeah, because I saw the ad for it and I was like, the original show was great. Why do we gotta remake it? It was like when they remade MacGyver. I was like,
But man,
Well-
Picard carried that one, man. He was just really good.
yeah. I spent many years as a kid watching the Star Trek: The Next Generation on TV. That
But
was
my all-time
You can't-
favorite episode from season 1 of Next Generation is The Big Goodbye, where he plays that fictional character Dixon Hill, and they go into the holodeck, and he meets all the
Yeah.
bad guys. And I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know why. It's like it made me feel like I made the best friends I ever had, and I cried at the end of that episode. I thought it was just beautifully done, and I won an Emmy that episode. And they
Oh,
wanted
it
to go
did?
out onto
Wow.
they want to go out onto the main part of the starship, but they couldn't because they're only holograms, and they would
Mm.
just disintegrate.
Mhm.
yeah.
Or the one where Data wants to be Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, that was that I liked that one. I remember that one.
Hmm. Yeah, he wanted to be the Sherlock Holmes of Star Trek.
He was
Or there
good
was
too,
one
man.
episode,
Data,
I
the
think
actor, he was good. He was really
Brent
good too.
Spiner, yeah.
Well,
There was one episode where Data, I think it was The Naked Now, I'm not sure, but where he gets laid with Tasha Yar. Are you fully functional? If you know what I mean? He's like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know Cyborg had feelings, but yeah, it works.
Well,
No, I like when he has the feeling chip put into him in Generations movie, and he's playing on the computer.
Mm.
Those are the life forms. Those are the life forms. And they're about to crash. He's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Now,
I love
what
Data.
was there in the old one? Okay, in the old episodes with Shatner, what was their enemy? Who was their enemy? Like their bad guy that they went up against.
They had the Klingons,
Okay, they
but
still
Yeah.
had
the
those. They had
Klingons look
those.
nothing like they did with the foreheads, which
Okay.
were in the later series. They upgraded that in Next Generation.
Okay.
But what I don't like about that is they never really go into detail why the Klingons look different than they did on the original series with the foreheads, like how they evolved. They never explain that, which I wish they had.
I'm remembering. Let me look this up. I'm not remembering as a kid. I'm going back in my mind. They had early movies too.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, The Wrath of Khan. Okay, I remember The Wrath of Khan because I was old enough to. I was like 5 or 6 at the time.
Excuse me.
So I remember the Wrath of Khan and the bad guy that played the main villain in that.
Ricardo Montalban.
Right.
Oh,
right.
yeah. Ricardo Montalban.
And he was also on Fantasy Island.
Yeah, I remember Fantasy Island.
Yeah,
He was
that's
a-
right.
He was a looker.
The plane.
And he also did
Yeah.
Maxwell House.
Apparently he was.
Instant Coffee.
Apparently he was Lisa in his time. I kind of did I like looking up certain actors at times.
Yeah.
To just get their backstory. Yeah, he apparently had his. He was that for sure.
He had
in his younger
his
days.
fair share of women. Let's just
Yeah.
say he was not lacking.
Oh,
Yeah, I
no.
like looking up about old Hollywood. I like looking up that stuff.
I know we're going to go off topic for a second, but this is something I've been wanting to ask you, Mr. Beckett, for a while. What do you think of Harrison Ford doing an Indiana Jones 5?
Yeah, I'd be for it. Bring him back.
Well,
You only have these actors for so long, right? I mean, you use them. I mean, to a certain. I know he's older now, but use them to a certain capacity. Pass the torch, kind of like passing the torch kind of thing. Because
they are working on it, and apparently in
Yeah.
this one they're going to go into space or something.
Oh, really?
James,
Really?
I gotta get going.
All right, Lisa.
But it was nice seeing you,
Yeah,
Beckham,
same here, Lisa.
Mr. Russian David, and James. You know,
Live long
Bye.
and prosper.
That's a great
Bye.
outfit,
Bye.
man. Do you go to shows like that and stuff?
No.
okay. Well, He looks German and Russian at the same time. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Speaking of Indiana Jones, I found the new trailer. If you want to see it, James.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it
So
yet.
okay, wait. So Harrison Ford's going to be in this. You're saying that they should put him in, or they already did put him
No,
in?
he's in it, and Steven
Oh,
Spielberg's
okay, yeah.
directing
That's
it and
I think
everything.
I think it's great. We should check it out because I haven't seen it.
Me either. Let's see this.
It makes three of us. So
All right, here we go.
This will not be a war of heroes. Which is all to say, this is going to be fun.
You're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm retired.
What was your job?
I was in the funeral business.
Real power is not found running off to war. The truth is, the world is ruled by corruption and greed.
Part-time.
Whoa, that's a
That
little
was- that was-
teaser.
that's all
Okay,
they give
so-
you, just a little teaser. Yeah.
What's the timeline now? So he fought the Nazis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the
He's
Russians.
older now, so that would probably be like Vietnamish.
Maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
Here, let me get my Indiana Jones box set. Hold on.
All
Well,
right.
I'm looking forward to that. I didn't know it was coming out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's only going to be on Disney Plus or if they're going to release it to the theaters.
Well, a lot of people, they're making so much money off apps now because people are converting over that they're just putting them on the apps. Except
Yeah.
Tom Cruise's Top Gun had to go to the theater because of production value.
Uh,
And they made a ton, man, they broke all the records, I think. Top Gun did.
yeah, it's a good movie. I gotta get that on Blu-ray. Make me big,
Yeah,
Mystery
I bought
Spot.
it too. I spent I bought it off of Amazon or to keep on my Amazon Prime. It was like 20
yeah?
bucks, man. Jeez.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I just bought it, so
There you go.
And
I gotta
let's
go
see,
back and
inside.
rewatch them. Now there's a new movie coming out. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
This is Blu-ray, by the way. I love this picture right here. This is so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And the discs just slide in here, but I'm not going to take them out. But see, you get the original posters and everything. And so that's where he fights the Nazis to get the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's where he goes to the Temple of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
I like the scene where he's on the bridge and he doesn't have his gun. He's like, oh, shit. And they're coming from both ends.
Yeah.
Hold on, lady. We go for a ride. What? Is he crazy?
So it's kind of crazy how a certain actor can only pull off a certain line or a scene, and like Harrison Ford is an iconic and certain iconic
Yeah.
scenes that
Last
only fit for
Crusade.
him. You know.
Mm-hmm.
This was really good, too. Then we have Temple of Doom, Crystal Skull. I actually enjoyed this one. It wasn't bad.
I gotta go back and watch these, man.
Then you get bonus features.
Oh, okay.
Did they have a
And-
date when it comes out? The new movie?
Not that I'm aware of.
It was just a teaser. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
James.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. No, he was gonna say that. You know the date?
No.
it just says 2023. That's all it says.
Okay.
All right.
I was
that
gonna
makes
say
more-
it's like the Mandalorian, the season 3 of the Mandalorian. They're doing the same thing. You're supposed
Yeah.
to get it. You're supposed to get the trailer on Christmas,
Oh my God.
and they're gonna tell you when the date is that it comes out. So
So,
Oh.
are you enjoying Andor?
Um, yeah, for what it's worth, yeah. There's some things that I hope that they put out in it that I wanted to, if you know your lore and all that kind of stuff, but I haven't seen yet. So, but I hope they do.
Yeah, because it stems from Rogue One, the
Right,
Star Wars story.
right,
So it helps if you've seen the movie to
sure.
understand the storyline. But I thought Obi-Wan was well done,
There
Mm,
we go.
and I had a feeling that Princess Leia was going to be in it as a kid.
yeah.
Sometimes you can
Um,
predict it.
like for example, like if you have to know what Vader's doing at the time. You gotta know
Yeah,
what the Emperor's doing, what Vader's doing. Like, do you know who Sly Moore is?
no,
Sly Moore, if you go back to the second and third movie, it's a female. She is force sensitive. She's like the bald lady that's next to the Emperor, not the Emperor, but when he's Palpatine,
mm-hmm.
you'd have to go back and watch and see what I'm talking about. Anyway, she knew that he was the Sith the whole time, and she might have been his mistress, Palpatine's
Oh,
mistress.
Hmm.
So there was rumor that she was supposed to come out in it, and she hasn't come out yet because she was on the list at the party that they had at Andor. You remember that scene where the husband or her what's her name's husband is telling her who's going to go to the party, and
yeah.
Sly Moore was on that list, and I was hoping to see Sly Moore, but they haven't put her
And
out there
who's that
yet.
guy and the lady that are sitting at the kitchen table and he's always eating cereal?
That
Who are those
oh that
two?
well, that's his mom. That's the character is the guy that he's pursuing Andor. Remember he
Oh,
killed.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a security guy that got fired, and that's just his mom, just kind of bitching at him for not having a job because he got fired. But then she hooked him up with a job,
And I
which
thought
is
it was cool that they brought Andy Serkis into the show.
yeah.
He's the
Hmm.
one that does the voice of Smeagol.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm enjoying. I mean, I'm enjoying it so far.
It's different. I'll give it that.
Right, and I'm hoping they touch it up with some of the some of the the action stuff like stormtroop. I think we're going to see some black stormtroopers.
Oh,
And
Hmm.
yeah?
I'm hoping, like I said, can you imagine if that girl was to meet somehow cross paths with Vader? The security officer, the girl with the blonde hair, whatever her name is. I don't know her
Mm-hmm.
name, but can you imagine how devoted she is to the Empire if she happened to just cross paths with Vader? I would be like, wow.
Oh, my
But
God.
I know. Could you imagine that if she just happened to like he's walking or whatever, and she walks by Vader?
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
what I thought was cool when Andor was saying, I didn't do anything. I was just going to the
mm,
shops. And they said,
yeah,
take it up with the Emperor. That was cool when
yeah.
they said that line. I'm like, is the Emperor actually going to be in an episode? That would be cool.
That too. That would be cool. They even if he was in a hologram or something, it'd be cool to have him on. Or
And I thought it was pretty cool that they had Mon Mothma in there.
well, yeah. She's the main. She's one of the main part of the story.
And who's Stellan
You remember
Skarsgård?
Mar? She doesn't like slime. That her and Slimore would be bumping heads at the at the when all the planets meet. What do you call it? The when
Yeah.
they're yeah. So that's why I was hoping that Slime Moore would have shown up to the party. Remember that party a couple episodes back?
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping the Slime Moore would have came out because she is force sensitive. She can control your mind.
Yeah. So this is happening way before the Star Trek. I mean, Star Wars Rogue One, and I
How
guess
far?
it'll lead up
Well,
to that.
maybe it's probably like a year or two before, maybe, because I think there's supposed to be a season 2 to Andor. There is. I'm sorry. They started filming season 2 to Andor last month. So, I'm sorry, 2 months ago, September. So they're already like a month and a half into filming season 2 of Andor.
And I really want to. I really want to.
So you're right. It could be like maybe a year or two before
Yeah,
the movie, right? Before the movie.
and I
Mhm.
really want a season 2 for Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, that's coming, I believe. I hope they make it a little darker, man. They need to bring in there's so much they could do. They can bring in the huts. There's all these cartels they could bring in. Man, you could really make that interesting. You could bring in Luke again. I want to see Luke meet Bobo.
That would be
Remember
cool.
they never met. Or they didn't see each other when he went and saved Grogu. And he's the
Mhm.
one that got him sent him into the pit when they fought each other on Jedi.
Yeah,
Can you imagine what that would be like if they came face to face again?
it's hard to believe all these years that Boba Fett never died.
Well, he got out.
Yeah, because I like how they show that the Sarlacc pit and he's climbing out at the beginning of the show. You know,
Mhm.
So
it doesn't matter if we change the subject a little bit and go into Star Wars because I
Yeah.
like talking
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Wars too.
Oh yeah.
I've always
definitely.
wanted to do this with you, Mr. Beckham. I can't believe you're on my panel for the first time. I've been waiting for this moment, and Danny made it happen for me.
Move him up.
yeah,
there.
she just told me that. She told me that you want if I want. I was like, yeah, I'll jump on there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now I know more about Star Wars than Star Trek, but
Well, I don't mind if we
it's all
talk a little
good.
Star Wars.
It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, with the Star Trek stuff, hope there's another movie, and they still secure the same actors because I'm telling you, it's the actors that have that they've already put in that carries the show or the
Yeah.
movie
Have
or
that
whatever.
chemistry to work good together.
Right, exactly.
Well, now that I have you on screen, I have something else to show you. Some more movies. Hold on.
He's got a lot of Blu-rays and DVDs, and he's got all kinds of stuff.
The only collection that I have is the old Star Wars one. I have the original Clone Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I have as far as a collection goes is the Star Wars stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, I have stuff that I've gotten on Amazon Prime that's there. That's digital.
Oh yeah, it's definitely nice.
All right.
Like that. I'll make you big here.
Here we go. Oh, you're gonna love this, Mr. Beckham. And tell me if you own these as well.
I don't have that one, but I have probably the one before. Yeah, but that's cool.
This one was bloody expensive when it first came out, but my mom bought it for me.
How long ago did that come out?
I think 2011.
Yeah, I think I got mine earlier.
This is like a hardcover book kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the same on the back here. So we start with Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Ooh, that's cool. I like where they have Maul there like that.
Attack of the Clones.
Do you know where they filmed that scene at?
Where?
In Italy.
Oh, wow.
Or where they got married too. It was a quick shot too, like a quick shot.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
New Hope. You came with that thing? You're braver than I thought.
Again with I'll wait till you. Oh, that's awesome. I like that. And he's oh, that's Empire. Okay.
Yeah. Return of the Jedi.
That's cool, man. See, you got the cool. The one before doesn't have stuff like that.
Bonus features.
Oh, it's got Fett in it.
And more bonus features.
Yeah, save that, man, for sure. Because a lot of people don't have those.
No, they don't. Oh, I'm not giving this one up. And this is fucking cool. All the Star Wars characters. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Not cool?
Yep.
So let me tell you what's on the bonus discs from the little booklet here. Okay. Do. I love this shot. This is nice. Father and son.
That's really cool.
Okay, so a bonus disc number 3, the Star Wars documentaries. You got The Making of Star Wars, 1977, 49 minutes. The Empire Strikes Back special effects. Then you get Classic Creatures, Return the Jedi. Anatomy of a Dewback, 1997. Star Warriors. This is some Star Wars fans want to collect action figures. These fans want to be action figures. A tribute to the 501st Legion, a global organization of Star Wars costumes enthusiasts. This insightful documentary shows how the Super Fan Club promotes interest in the films through charity and volunteer work at fundraisers and high-profile special events around the world, and they all dress up like stormtroopers. Then we have a conversation with the Masters. The Empire Strikes Back 30 years later. Star Wars spoofs. That one's funny.
Mm-hmm.
The Force is strong with this one. Enjoy a hilarious collection of Star Wars movie scene spoofs and parodies that have been created over the years, including outrageous clips from Family Guy, The Simpsons, How I Met Your Mother, and more. And don't miss Weird Al Yankovic's one-of-a-kind music video tribute to the Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard it before.
So it's classic. So we got that, and let me put this back in here, and then we go into the next movies that I have in the collection. But this one, you have to get this. This is the box that you need on Blu-ray. You have to get this one, Mr. Beckham. This is the best one.
Yeah, it has a bunch of cool art. Now,
yes, that's what I like about that.
I like
so
the one with my favorite was the one, of course, with Vader and Luke. With their swords extended and.
And since we were talking about Andor, here we go.
People, fans like think Andor is the better movie as far as overall Star Wars content and backs and storyline with the new stuff, the more modern stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then we go to.
Did you like Solo?
I liked it a lot. I liked that they had Darth Maul in it.
It's okay. Yeah, at the very, yeah, that would be the best part to me, because it introduces when he organizes what is it, Crimson Dawn, the cartel or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a cool slipcover. And wait till you see when I slide it out. Blu-ray's all done in black. That is cool. So there's part 1. Force Awakens. Now
Did you hear what they think they might do with Rey?
What?
The latest rumor I've heard is that they might have her actually be. Apparently, they might introduce a brother that Obi-Wan Kenobi had.
Mm-hmm.
And that Rey might be the daughter of Obi's brother.
Oh. Now I know a lot of people.
That's a rumor. I'm not saying that's it's just the rumor I've heard.
It would be cool if it was true. Now a lot of people give this movie a lot of slack and crap, but I think this movie is well done, and I really, really like it a lot. The Last Jedi.
Why do you like it?
I really enjoyed this film.
What part of it?
Everything. Just every little thing about this.
I like when they fight the red guards.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a cool fight scene.
Yeah, everything about this movie was just beautifully done. I don't care what people say; it's a good movie in my mind. And then, of course, we have The Rise of Skywalker.
Or would you be okay if they brought Kylo Ren back from the dead?
I'd be okay with that. But the one scene that doesn't make sense to me is, you know, when all the guys are the battle on top of the Star Destroyers, how could they breathe up there? They're in fucking space.
I know. You got to remember it's. I know. Maybe it was from the oxygen that was being spit out from the ships to a certain point, but I don't think that's even. I mean, I don't know. However, James, I did see. I don't laugh, but I did see a probably like 10 years ago, maybe maybe 8 years ago. I saw a scientific show. I forgot what network it was on the reality of Star Wars. Right, what's real, what's possible, and it was pretty much a high percentage of reality that could happen. The only thing that you, of course, that couldn't happen is you don't have no force, right? Um, Lightsabers are possible, very possible. I mean, at the time of that show, it would just be a big laser um, force of energy, right? It would just be a huge laser. Now I think they've reduced it to a sword form with new technology. So the lightsabers are possible at some point, probably in the near future, which would be just dangerous for everybody. But
Yeah.
and of course we can't not teleport, but we can't travel hyperspace mode. We have been to space, right? And we've sent out satellites in space and all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty interesting as they had scientists on there and they broke it down to because a lot of scientists are Star Wars and Star Trek, Star Trek fans. So, they had multiple guys and scientists and come out and say, yeah, this is possible and this is not possible. And it was pretty interesting.
Ooh, I got something cool to show you. All right. I'll make myself big again.
We need to build a Death Star.
Funny you say that. Funny you say that,
The U.S.
Mr.
government
Beckham.
is working on the ultimate planet killer.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
There you go. I didn't know that's what you were going to show, and I just told you.
And there was something else I'm going to show you too.
That's no moon.
Dave gave me this.
Who did?
It's made from a 3D printer, and you can put a little light inside, which I have
That's really
somewhere.
cool. So have you
can
tried
light
it?
it
Have
up.
you tried it with the light on?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay, so it would just be whatever color the bulb is.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
And this you'll like. Here's my Funko Pop. Luke Skywalker and Grogu.
Who do you think Grogu is?
I don't know.
Have you seen the shorts?
No, I haven't.
Oh, James, what are you waiting for? Oh my God, that beats anything in the last 10 years that the Star Wars has put out. You need to go watch the shorts. I'm telling you, it's gonna connect the movies.
Oh.
It connects them. There's new information. It connects the movies. Have you seen the shorts, Mr. Spock?
I have not.
They're not. They're just not random cartoon. It connects the storyline.
You mean the Tales of the Jedi?
Yes, it connects.
Yes, I did watch that.
stories.
Yes.
So you got there's
I
new
watched that.
information. Oh, you did watch it.
Yeah, because he didn't
You have
specify
watched
which
it?
one it was. Yeah, I liked it.
Oh well, the reason I was going to ask you is because I asked you who you thought Grogu was, and do you think he's the product of Yoda and what's her face? If you saw the short,
I don't know.
did they have because apparently the Jedi were allowing certain Jedi to help their species because their species was running low, so they could mate and have
But what I think would have been cool, in the actual Star Wars movies, like maybe before Attack of the Clones, if they had Ahsoka Tano, where he's actually training her.
Who? Anakin.
Anakin, yeah.
Well, he is training her in that one show.
Yeah, but that was the cartoon. But if it was live
Oh,
action, that would have been cool.
you're talking about live see. Oh, okay, you're talking about live. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, they never did that. Well, because they didn't have a cast for what's her face.
But I thought it was really cool. The first episode of the Tales of the Jedi, where you see Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, that was really cool. And you see Dooku when he was before he turned to the dark side.
Mm-hmm. But I
So
wish
now, do
for...
you think the Jedi were evil?
I'm not really sure if they were or not. Somewhere, but it was hard to
Yeah,
tell.
yeah, because when you're in that position of power that they were in, and you're being used as a security force, it could be easy to sway a certain way. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of in the story, of course, a lot of planets or whatever were seeing the Jedi as the evil ones.
And I'm excited for season 2 of The Bad Batch.
When is that supposed to come out? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I really like season 1. I thought it was really good.
It's supposed to be pretty. They should have already pushed it back. We should have already had it going. It's
I
already
know.
November.
It was supposed to come out in September.
Right.
But I think they're putting it out in January now, maybe. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I'm hoping that Mando 3 starts in March,
I wish it would start
February, but
earlier than that. I wish it would come out in January.
Well, I know, but I don't think it'll be January. The earliest it might be, I think I heard February, but it could be as late as April. I hope it's not April, man. But
I can't wait that long.
I know.
What about
those
you,
are the ones
Mr.
I hate.
Spock?
I hate.
Do you watch those?
No, we don't have good reception here on the planet Vulcan.
Oh no. Did you know that Mr. Spock can go to everybody's home, Mr. Beckham?
I like the background. What is that?
Oh, it's an old house.
It looks like the house of Doctor Strange.
It looks pretty cool, though.
Hey, Mason.
Is it a green screen?
No, it's an actual fabric backdrop.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So then...
But he can go to everybody's place. See, there's my upstairs where I used to be.
Lisa, Kylo Ren could get me any time of the week.
HEK.
This is when we went to the Old West.
Ah.
And now
there's the engine room from Star Trek, where Scotty hangs out.
That's cool, man.
Tim Allen.
I need to get something like that for me.
Tim Allen.
Can transport anywhere.
Well, Dave, I'm going to get out of my chair. Do you want me to go big to do this so you can take a screenshot of my man cave?
All right.
And then you can go there. Hold on.
Oh, okay. That's what you do?
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Now, are you going to be able to pretend you're in the chair?
I can pretend like I'm in the room next to the chair. Let's see here.
Okay, here we go.
That's cool.
And Mr. Beckham, if you get out of your chair, he can take a screenshot and he can go to your place too.
I'm good, James.
So I watched the replay of Danny's roast. Oh my God. that Mr. Jinx is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny, man.
I
He's
practically peed my pants when I saw him.
that guy can do like he's real artistic. He can like play music or play guitar. You know, he does ventriloquist stuff with his dolls. And then he's funny and he
Yeah,
dresses up
because it
and
was
stuff.
on too late for me. I couldn't make it, but I would have been there. But I just sent her a video, and Miss Piggy was there, of course, and she has the hoss for you, Mr. Beckham. Miss Piggy has attraction to you.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I
That was
know.
great.
Remember, I liked the look on Danny's face, and I was like, "This is not a honey call. This is Lord Vader." The look on her face was priceless when I did that.
Yeah, it was funny.
Let's see here.
And Aunt Mimi with the puppet when she stuffed the boobs.
Dude, whenever she showed the puppet at first, right? She didn't say what it was or what. She was just, I don't know, she was talking about something. I was like, that kind of looks like Danielle. I was like, and then it ended up being that's what she did. It was Danielle.
When she stuffed the boobs, I was like, "Oh my god, that was funny."
Yeah.
And Danny was just, she looked like she was about to cry because she was laughing so hard when she saw that. I want that puppet. I can have fun playing with that puppet. And I don't mean in a bad way.
No, I just thought it was hilarious because I was like, that looks like Danielle. And I was like wondering, I was like, did she do that? Did she do that for Danielle? Made her own puppet.
Oh, that was priceless. I was like, oh my god. But the things Mr. Jinx was doing, how he got away with all that. When he was playing with his hair and he had his hair on the wrong side. And
yeah, that was funny because of the camera and everything. It was funny.
Yeah. Oh, you're in my man cave now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Relaxing in the chair.
Wow, look at that, dude. That's funny. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
He can take screenshots of everybody's place and then
like
you can
funny.
get it. Oh, Mason's here.
Oh my god, that's
Bring
hilarious.
Mason, beam him up, Mr.
All right.
Spock.
Hello,
Mason. Welcome to the Enterprise.
Hey, James.
How you doing?
Doing good. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Did you listen to the Fab Forum with?
I've been very busy lately, James. I haven't been able to. Just got through with a floor remodel of the whole house. So
oh yeah.
Now we're trying to get all the shit moved back in.
And of course, you know Mr. Beckham.
Hey, Mason, how you doing?
I used to hang with Beckham and Paul and Danny all the time back in the day on their StreamYard stuff. It was fun, real fun back in the day. Yeah. And then I had a cameo appearance for Danny's birthday.
Yeah.
I saw that. Were you there, Mason? Because I watched the replay. Were you there when Aunt Mimi had the puppet and she stuffed the boobs to make it look like Danielle?
I may have been watching in the peanut gallery at that point because that definitely sounds familiar.
It was hilarious.
Like at first, she had the puppet from up here. You couldn't see anything when the camera panned down. I was like, "Oh my god!" That was the look on Paul's face. That was priceless. Paul was like, "What the fuck?" Nobody was expecting that. So Lisa was telling me a story, Mr. Beckham, that one time you were on a stream with her and Cap, and that you fell asleep on camera. Is that true?
Yeah, it was the very first time I ever went on. Well, I had just started watching everybody.
Wasn't that when Cap had his Halloween party?
Yeah, it was the very first time. That was Halloween of 2020. So the world was still shut down, right? You couldn't go anywhere or anything. And Cap had his Halloween thing, and that was the first time I bought the camera that I use now, and I was testing it out. And so Cap and so he kind of joked about, oh, I'll outdrink you or whatever. So yeah, man, we went to town. I was drinking, and I drank a lot. And I remember waking up on the floor. So apparently, like, I put my head down or something, and I passed out, and then I fell off my chair because I had fallen off the chair. The mouse had fallen with me. The camera had fell down on the keyboard, so I guess fell and every knocked some stuff down. And I was embarrassed too, man. I was like, "What did I do? Like, did people like see me just pass out?"
Oh
So like
my
I
god.
messaged Cap like at 5 in the morning. I don't know. I was like, "What happened?" He's like, he was still awake, and he was like, "You passed out on live," and I'm like, "Holy crap!" I was embarrassed.
Danny
But
always
the whole
jokes
world
about
was
that
shut
one.
down, man. The whole world was shut
Yeah,
down. You know,
because I remember like I was at work through most of that Halloween party, and I just had gotten off and came on screen and
oh,
hung
did
out.
you?
Yeah, I had hung out with you guys till like 2 in the morning, and then went in for a 7 a.m. shift.
Oh my god. Well, was I
Wow.
awake? Was I passed out?
I don't know, but I remember another story. This one's great, guys. Ask Beckham about his blue balls story.
That was a
He
drunk
thought he
story.
had cancer.
Uh-oh.
That was a long time ago. I was a lot younger.
Holy shit.
I did. I was like, "Fuck, why are my balls hurting? Do I have cancer?" And then one of my friends was studying to be a nurse, and I told him. We got back to the house, and because I had spent a night with the girl, and she just rubbed me raw, and he was starting to be, my friend was starting to be a nurse. I was like, "Dude, this shit hurts," and he's like, "Oh man, you just gotta go and take care of it, and it'll be fine." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my god. And
I don't know.
Mason, you said that you had blue balls too. Remember when you're telling Danielle?
That's right. I
It hurts, man.
it does. It feels like getting kicked in that area.
Ooh, ouch! Can't say I've ever had that before.
I'm not. I haven't been drinking enough to tell my story about it
Yeah,
yet.
I
So.
haven't. I'm not either. Like I'd have to retell mine, but yeah, that was the gist of it.
But by far the best one is, who's Roy?
Huh?
Yeah.
No,
Mason's
because
talking about old stories.
this was around. This happened during the 2020 presidential election. I remember that for sure. And we had somebody on Cap's show that some argument got out of hands. I don't remember exactly how or who it was, but all of a sudden Beckham just comes in and at the very end, and he's like to Cap, "Who's Roy?"
We just didn't know who we were talking about somebody. And I don't remember who, and I was just like, well, who? I was really quiet, and I was like, well, who are we talking about? And it was just funny. It was one of those you had to be there moments.
Oh my god.
But it was pretty funny. Paul still remembers that though. He still makes Paul laugh about it.
Paul loves the Who's Roy story.
Yeah, because I was quiet the whole time, and all of a sudden I just came on and said that. Well, because I was confused. I was like, well, who are we talking about? Where's this person?
Was
It was
MZ
funny.
there too?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it was.
She
It
wasn't
was
on
back.
screen. She
It
may have
was
been in the
back at
peanut
that
gallery.
time when everybody used to hang out on people's channels and drink and stuff because we couldn't go anywhere.
Does Danielle know that story of Who's Roy?
I don't think she
I'm
was
sure she
on,
does.
but she
I remember
knows it, but
that
she doesn't.
Cap was for sure there.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was talking to Cap, and I think Paul was there. I believe.
Uh,
No, now I remember it. It
But
was
there was
some.
I
Alright.
mean, we had a lot of
It was some
fun back
argument
then. It was a
between.
lot of
It was
fun.
some argument between Lisa and some other girl.
okay.
That's all I remember.
But yeah, I don't remember. I just remember they were talking about somebody, and I was like, well, who's this person? Everybody, I was just trying to get into the story, like who's who's this person? It was kind of funny.
I guess you have to be there.
Remember
You
that
had
night?
to be there. You had to be there for that one. Yes.
So there was this other night that I was on Paul's chat with them, and I fell asleep on stream, and then I think I woke up right as they were about to get off, and I said something, but I don't remember what it was, and y'all just started cracking up.
But I think you were off camera because we didn't know you had fallen asleep. We just thought you were still there. I think.
But I said something along the lines of, "Oh, you guys still on?"
Well, because sometimes Mason would just hang out and like go off camera, and you don't know if he's still there or not.
Yeah, I remember when he used to do that. He'd be behind his avatar.
Yeah, kind of like this.
Yeah.
Mason, are you a Star Trek fan or Star Wars fan?
Star Wars, baby.
Well, I want to go with Star Trek today. I thought everybody would like Star Trek.
James.
But we did get into some Star Wars
They're
talk
making
as
another
well.
trilogy, James. They're making another trilogy.
For what?
Star Wars.
Really?
That's the rumor, yeah.
Is it going to take out? Is it going to take place after?
It's going to take place after everything, and rumor has it it's going to most likely suck.
They're trying to find they're trying to find a writer or writers that have at least a passion for Star Wars, because the ones that wrote the ones before, they were not Star Wars fans. They just were writers.
Oh, so they're doing this to try to make up for
The
Last Jedi being a piece of.
See, a lot of people don't. Yeah, a lot of fans don't. See, James, I know you like them, but a lot of fans don't.
I do.
The Last
and I don't
Jedi,
care who knows it.
That Last Jedi
It's
overall
okay.
was terrible.
It's okay. I mean, it's all right. But yeah, but to Mason's point, they came out and said that they think they made a mistake by putting people in these positions that were not fans of of what they wrote about.
Well, it didn't feel like Last Star Wars.
Right. Yeah.
It felt like kind of like we were doing the prequels all over again.
So they're trying to find writers and that kind of stuff that knows the storyline and are true fans. Because the guy who wrote Andor is not a fan of Star Wars. Did you know that?
I never knew that.
I'm sorry, not Andor. I'm talking about the series Andor. Yeah. So the guy who wrote it is not a fan.
Well, I mean,
of Star Wars. He's just a writer. He's just a writer.
He's the freaking director of The Last Jedi. Forget him.
Well, his hands were tied. He was just doing his job as a director. He gave opinions of what he thought should happen, but they said no. You just stick to the script and you do your job as a director. That's what happened with him.
Force Awakens was actually
he wasn't a writer. Remember, he's not a writer. He's a director.
Force Awakens
those are two different things.
Force Awakens is a great example of making a Star Wars film for the sole purpose of just unlocking your nostalgia. It's great at that. J.J. Abrams, I think, did a very good job in that department with that film. But then Last Jedi came out, and Luke Skywalker was completely out of character.
Yeah, that's true. I believe that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But a cool touch that I think was unique to that film that is definitely a standout is the whole connection between Rey and Kylo, how they kind of how they can see each other even though they're not present in the room together.
That was pretty. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was not expecting them to kiss like they did.
Well, the build up of Snoke as a villain in Force Awakens, and then they just kill him like that. I'm like,
they didn't tell a backstory, and you're wondering where this guy came from, or you know what I mean? Like there was no backstory or anything to this guy.
And Rise of Skywalker, look, I thought that it's great that we got the Sith to reprise his role, but I don't think it was needed.
No, you could have got a new. You could have got a better villain. I agree.
I liked how I mean he did a great performance, but I think his storyline
right.
should have ended like it was supposed to in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, they
Because you
could have
saw
got
in
a
that
better
you
villain.
saw in that film how he was thrown off
Hmm.
the edge like that, and
Yeah.
yeah, you're assuming he's dead, but then all of a sudden he comes back, and you're like, just how?
Right. That's the thing. Exactly. I mean, you're hitting on all these points, Mason, for sure. Of what the fan base, or the majority of the fan base is saying at this time.
And also, we never thought Boba Fett was going to come out of the Sarlacc pit like he did.
But Lucas left it open for him to, though, because he never killed him off.
No, he just fell because, well, remember Han Solo was
Right.
like, Boba Fett, where? Then he knocks him over
Yeah.
the side.
Dude, he had the goofiest. He had. I don't. The only thing about it is that he had the goofiest death. But Lucas does that from time to time. He'll put something really goofy in his movies. In his movie.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a cool death. I mean, him falling into the pit, that's fine. But how he fell in the pit when he has the backpack and all that, it was kind of goofy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
But you
but it
actually
was
think he's
cool
dead.
when Luke cut his gun, and then he ties up Luke, right? But it was just kind of goofy how Han Solo, he's like, Boba Fett, where? And he's just like goofily just steps back and knocks him into the pit.
Yeah.
or he knocks him off and he flies himself and hits the side of the ship or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Are you having Wi-Fi issues, Mr. Spock?
I am.
Wow. Because you
We
keep
are.
freezing every so often. You're like,
Yeah.
Where are you? Are you in the
I'm in
States?
California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're kind of remote. So the internet's actually DSL we're using, so it freezes from time to time.
Is DSL good or bad?
It's bad. Most people have fiber, which is a lot quicker.
So why don't you switch to fiber?
Yeah.
It's not available in my area.
It's not
Oh,
available.
crap.
It's not available in a lot of areas, right?
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I have fiber.
Yeah.
What do you
it's
have,
a
Mason?
lot better. It's the difference between walking or taking a car.
I have not fiber.
Are you on DSL as well?
Well, because don't you live out in the a bunch of land, Mason?
Well, I mean, fiber is available in my area, yes, but we just haven't made
Oh,
the
it
switch yet.
is. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Cool.
Yeah, no, our internet provider, that's all they do now is fiber. Our local one, but we are stupid for whatever reason and decided we just need to stay on the old DSL. And I'm like, man, this is why you can't. This is why we can't just like change everything over to streaming in the house. It's because it's not strong enough internet. That's something I'm pushing.
It does make a difference.
No offense to you physical media collectors, but I just can't get into that kind of thing anymore. I want everything streaming now. I'm a hard push for that.
Takes up a lot less
That
space.
TV in the garage and all that, Mason?
I don't have shit in the garage anymore.
Oh, you took it all out?
Yeah, no, I do everything from my bedroom now.
Ah.
But this is a big issue, James. The only Beatles movie I can stream is A Hard Day's Night, and that's forcing me to actually have to buy Help Magical Mystery Tour and Yellow Submarine on DVD and or Blu-ray, and I'm trying not to put anything on the shelf anymore.
Well, I still like physical media, but that's just me.
That's great that you have a passion for that, but I don't see it. I just want to take my remote control, turn on my TV, and with the press of a button, pull up any movie I want.
That's pretty cool too. I enjoy that from time to time as well. When I'm too lazy to put something in the Blu-ray player or whatever, Do you still collect physical media, Mr. Beckham?
A lot of my stuff is just now whatever I can, whatever in the holes like Amazon, stuff like that. Not anymore. I
Yeah.
really don't anymore. Probably because I don't have any room. If I had a bigger place, maybe.
Is that like an apartment you're in?
Yeah. hmm
So you live by yourself?
hmm
Cool. You can have wild parties every night if you wanted to.
The place where I
He
live,
did,
it's more. It's
he did have one on Halloween night 2020.
yeah. When I had those two chicks on the podcast show, I wasn't at home that night.
Ah.
Oh, that's another. There's another. That reminds me of
But
another Bacon story. When you actually walked, what was it? Was it Phil Spector's house? No, I don't think it was. I don't think it
no,
was Phil Spector's
it
house.
was the
It was
Tate house.
it was somebody
I
famous'
I
house.
was in LA. Yeah, I was at the Tate house.
Oh, that house. No, that was
But
Lisa. That was Lisa.
no,
That
there's
was Phil
a
Spector's.
bunch of professional people live here where I live, so I can't. You can't get stupid or stuff like that.
No,
Yeah.
he tried to hop the fence of that house. I thought it was Phil
I was
Spector's.
trying.
but
Well, I
I'm
was
wrong.
trying to make sure I had the right house, and it was. I actually, you know what? I had the wrong house that night. So
Oh,
I would
just
have
like
gone in the
in
wrong one. Yeah, I
Once
was
Upon
trying
a
to look
Time in
for the right
Hollywood.
one, and it was dark. And because I had just landed, I got my rental, and I was more on that. I was at LAX, so where I was going was further away from LA, but LAX is not that far from Beverly Hills or whatever,
Mhm.
And Cap was like, "Hey, I'm on live right now. You should go over there." I'm like, "Well, it's only like 7:45. Okay." So I drove over there. So yeah.
It's hard to find stuff in the dark, that's for sure.
Yeah, man,
can
that's for
imagine.
sure. It was super dark. It's
Yeah.
super dark at night in Laurel Canyon area of
Mhm.
Los Angeles. So I had never been up in that area. That was my first time, and I just took a chance. And it was super
Yeah.
dark, and I went live on Cap's show, and I was like, "Look, I'm right here."
Yeah, we're like 2 hours away from LA, but where we're at, there's no street lights, so it's impossible to find anything in the nighttime.
It is. It's dark. It's super. When it's super dark, you don't realize how dark it is. You know what I mean? Until
Mhm.
you experience it. Yeah, when we had the here in Texas, when we had that snow or that ice storm where we lost power for a few days a couple
Oh,
years
wow.
ago now. Remember that, Mason?
Yeah, that was.
Dude, it was dark. It was like
But we never.
apocalyptic, man.
My area never lost
It was
power.
apocalyptic.
No, my
Oh,
area.
you didn't?
My area never lost power.
Oh, you're lucky, dude. Oh my God, I about froze.
Yeah, this
to
was
death.
like what, February of 21, something
Yeah,
like that.
yes, yeah. So when we lost power, the power grid was jacked up in Texas. A bunch of people. I mean, I'm talking millions of people didn't have power for a few days. It was at night. It was super dark. And it was like apocalyptic, man. It was crazy. It's crazy.
They actually shut the power off at one point in the closest city to where I'm at, but we never got anything.
So if the world ever like something crazy happens and there's no power for days, it's gonna just be everybody for themselves.
I bet you own this movie, Mr. Beckham.
The what? Oh, okay.
Remember this?
That's one of my that's in my top 10 now. I love that movie. Yep. I read the book. So the book, you know how they say that the book has got more than the movie?
Yeah.
So his dog actually has a really cool backstory. Remember the dog?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his dog has a really cool backstory.
I love when DiCaprio got all fucked up and he had the flamethrower when the bitch was in the pool.
That's funny, man. Yeah, he's got the flamethrower. He goes and gets it out of his garage or whatever. He's like,
and when Brad Pitt was smoking the joint, he's like, "Hey, you're the guy in the horsey." And he throws the dog food can. Oh yeah, when they fucked up and went to the wrong house. That's when you said that you went to the wrong house too. That's what made me think of this
Well,
film.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, because if you don't, if you don't know what you're looking for specifically, you can. Yeah, there's all the houses up there, and there's different like, what's that other famous murder with the porn and the drugs? With I always forget the story. Danielle and I went up there to that house,
Dorothy
but we're
Stratton.
no, it was like the murders over the drugs, and they made a movie about it. The porn star guy.
Oh God.
That's the one I was thinking of
Um,
too, James, was the Dorothy Stratton one, but that's
The only
not
famous
it.
male
No,
porn
it's
star I've heard of is John Holmes.
that guy. Remember, he was involved in that murder or those murders. I forgot the story, but here, let me look it up real quick. Anyway, Danielle and I went to that house, and the roads are so narrow, man. Like it's hard to drive through there and back out and that kind of thing. And there was really low internet reception.
Oh.
So I wonder how they did it with these bigger cars back in the day. Let me look up John Holmes murder. Wonderland murders. There you go. And they were in Laurel Canyon. So yeah, we were up in Laurel Canyon because Danielle wanted to go check that out. And yeah, so she went up to the, I parked and she went up to the house and checked it out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, it's crazy. The roads are really small and narrow. And the reception is really bad for internet there.
So did you finally get to the Tate house?
Oh yeah, I've been like 4 or 5 times now since then. Mm-hmm.
James.
Yep.
What?
I know.
What?
They're hinting at making Back to the Future Part 4.
Oh, they should not. They should not
Really?
do that.
I don't know. I mean, Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox keep promoting it, like hinting that
I don't think
there's something big coming.
I don't think he's in the position. I don't think could he physically do it?
I'm sure he can have like a cameo in it at the very least, like what they did in Top Gun Maverick, but they probably have to get a new star for it for the main role. But I mean, Christopher Lloyd looks just as good now as he did then.
How old is that guy now? Like 79?
He looks good for his age.
80? He has to be.
Wow. He's no spring chicken, but he does look good for his age. Christopher Lloyd is still going strong. So Mason, did the clocks going back mess you up?
Yep.
No, my computer and phone switched over automatically. Those are the only clocks I ever really pay attention to.
Oh yeah.
It did me.
Where I had to physically take my watch and change the time yesterday. That was a pain in the ass. And then getting my digital clock to be in sync with it. It's like, it's a pain in the butt to do all that shit.
Yeah, it's great having a device which will automatically switch the time.
Yeah, well, my computer does that, but that's the only thing that switches over. And my TV, of course, too. It does that on its own. So I want to thank all my guests for being here today on the Enterprise. It's nice to have you on the bridge. We didn't get any Romulans or Klingons attacking us, so we're pretty good. The only Klingon we'll accept on the bridge is Mr. Worf because he's a nice Klingon. So, but I want to thank my peanut gallery. I want to thank Mr. Beckham. I want to thank Mr. Spock, my rock, my friend, and my wingman, my number one, my first officer, and Mr. Mason M. He's part of the crew as well. And before we go, Mason, make sure you listen to the Fab Forum because it was really good. There's a lot of Beach Boys talking it.
Yeah.
But for the first hour or so, it's the call-in session where people call in, talk about the Beatles, and then the second half they talk to what's his face there? I forget his name already.
Yeah, Al Jardine.
El Jardine, and it was really
Mhm.
good. I even enjoyed it. I found out stuff at the.
He seems to be the type of guy that is very generous when it comes to interviews. Like Brian Wilson just is like he doesn't want to be bothered, and Mike Love is so egotistical that you don't want to interview him.
No, but this guy was very good. I'm not personally, for me, I'm more a huge Beatles fan, but I enjoyed the interview. I thought it was really good. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. We'll wait till Mr. Spock gets back. And then we'll beam me down to the planet. So I want to thank everybody for being here. So as I sign off, before I say my outro, Mr. Spock has to say something first.
Live long and prosper.
And as I say in my channel, Beatles forever. Thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see you on the
Have a
next
great
one. And Mr.
Yeah.
Beckham, I hope you come and join us for a panel again.
Sure, just let me know. Thank you.
I will. See you later, guys. Bye
Yeah.
for now. Oops, I was almost going to leave the studio without ending the broadcast.